that ice cream is sitting in my freezer, and I freaking want it right now. It's windy. But you know what I'm saying? You just have to be honest with yourself.
Oh, baby, I think we both know this is the love that we won't get right. Still, if you said that you wanted.
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a little filming outside because it is a beautiful day here in Nashville. I think spring is finally in the air and hopefully the camera doesn't fall off, but it's kind of windy. Hopefully that won't mess with you guys being able to hear me. Today I wanted to talk about cutting or fat loss tips and tricks that I'm gonna start using actually, because I just started cutting about a week ago. My carbs are gonna start dropping pretty soon. So today I want to talk about like behavioral techniques, so not necessarily like food and high volume food. That's kind of an obvious thing that I'm gonna have to start doing more of. And I actually made a video a while back about high volume, low carb, high fiber, high protein tips and tricks, and I'll link to that video in the comments below, the little box below, and also I'll put a little thing for you to click on here to access that video. So I've already done that. I want to do a video that's more about behavioral changes to make while cutting, to make sure that you put yourself in the best possible position to adhere to the plan. Because ultimately, that is what it's all about, adhering to that plan over a long period of time, being consistent over a long period of time to achieve fat loss goals. If you know me, you know I like metaphors, and I always make metaphors out of stuff because I feel like it's easy to kind of wrap your mind around metaphors more, and it kind of helps you understand the bigger picture. It is so windy. But anyway, so I was thinking that this is kind of like, say you're a runner and you're about to have a race and you're given a choice of either having a road that is completely full of debris, there's sticks and like roots along the way, or you're given a road that is completely clear. Which one would you choose? I think we would all choose the one that does not have debris in it. The things that I want to talk about today are things that will allow you to have the least amount of debris possible for you to trip up on. Another thing that came to mind and really hit home for me was a verse in the Bible, 1 Corinthians 6:12, where Paul is talking and he says everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And whereas he's talking about obviously not fitness, I feel like you can apply so much of the Bible to so many different areas of life. And I think it's a great little nugget of wisdom you can apply to fat loss, especially if it fits your macros, because everything is pretty much permissible. Like, you can eat ice cream, you can fit so many different things into your daily caloric intake. As long as you're hitting your macros, you can achieve your goals. However, is it beneficial? Putting beneficial things into your macros rather than filling it with crap. And that's kind of obvious, but here's what I'm saying that might not be obvious. All right, so that kind of gets me into my point number one, which is to be honest with yourself. Look back, think back historically. In the last year, what is something that has caused you to overindulge? Think about those things. Maybe you just don't want that temptation there. Just get rid of it. It's debris in your path. For me, like those Edie's or Dryer's half the fat ice cream, those things are like freaking crack to me. So I am gonna choose not to even have that in my freezer, because that's like a little debris in my path. Like, I don't even want to deal with it. So I'm just not going to have that in my freezer. I'll have like Arctic Zero and Hallow Top and stuff like that doesn't cause me to trip up. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying for me, I want to set myself up to a place where I can best adhere to my plan no matter what. Like, I'm not playing around. And I think it's true for a lot of people that early in the morning, you have a lot of willpower and you're like, heck yeah, I'm good to go. I'm going to be low carb and do great. But then at night, you're like, oh my gosh, that ice cream is sitting in my freezer and I freaking want it right now. It's windy. But you know what I'm saying? You just have to be honest with yourself, because chances are when your carbs get dropped really low, you will probably struggle with it. Another thing for me, I am going to choose not to have any alcohol during this prep. You do not have to do that at all. I just know that for me, it makes me, it lowers my willpower. Even like one drink kind of makes me feel a little bit looser, like, oh, it's all good, I'll have a bite of ice cream or whatever, and I don't want that, so I'm not gonna have alcohol. And I'm not one to like get drunk and stuff like that. I just, you know, even that one glass, I just don't even wanna go there. So nugget of wisdom number 2, which this may be totally obvious, but planning out your macros beforehand, especially when you first start cutting, because you're not used to those low macros. You want to make sure that, I am getting debris flying in my face right now. You want to make sure that you're gonna, again, put yourself in the best place possible to adhere. You don't want to eat a bunch of carbs in the beginning of the day, because at night you're gonna be like hungry. I would say plan your day kind of around like at least one thing at night that you're looking forward to, like a little piece of chocolate or like a belt sander brownie or something like that. And also make sure it's something that doesn't like trigger you to like eat more, but something that satisfies you. All right, another nugget of wisdom I would say is to start eating a little bit later in the day. Once your carbs and fat get a little bit lower, start eating later in the day. Not necessarily intermittent fasting. I think it's best to get like 4 to 5 meals of like 30 to 40 grams of protein throughout your day, you know, and start working out later in the day, because you're gonna wanna eat most of your carbs around your workout, before and after your workout. So if you can, try to do it later in the day, so at night when you don't have a lot of willpower, you've eaten recently. Nugget of wisdom from my eating disorder days, which that sounds pretty messed up, but it really does work. This isn't food, so I can get away with this, but gum. Chew gum. At least for me, it doesn't trigger anything, it doesn't make me want to eat. It actually makes me satisfied, especially delicious flavors like this. Target makes this great gum. Project 7, actually, yeah, Project 7 makes it. You can get it at Target. They have this cookie dough flavor and this ice cream flavor, and you put them together and it's like cookie dough ice cream. It is so good. Marshmallow and chocolate graham cracker you can put together and have like s'mores. You can even mix and match these and have like cookie dough s'mores and like, I don't know, marshmallow ice cream. It's really good. It's 2 grams of carbs for 2 pieces, but you know, it's a lot better than 2,000 calories in ice cream. Also, peppermint gum is good for curbing hunger. And at least for me, it works for me. I don't know. Everybody's different, may not work for you, but I'd give it a try. Another thing I would say is to brush your teeth after you're done eating for the day. Brush your teeth. If you have a retainer, put that sucker in. You'll talk weird the rest of the night, but you know what? You're not gonna cheat on your diet. So obviously, eat high volume, high fiber, low carb, high protein food. That is just an obvious thing. Eat a ton of vegetables, blah, blah, blah. Again, I have a video all about that, so that's why I'm not talking about that in this video. Also, BCAAs, branch chain amino acids, drink those babies throughout the day. Really like Carbon Recover. I like Extend, both flavors in sour apple. It's really good. I will link below with where you guys can get those, but sip on it throughout the day. It's really good for holding on to that muscle mass while cutting. To summarize. So, big picture. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. So, you want to set yourself up to be in the best position possible to adhere to your plan. You want to minimize the debris on your path to fat loss. Just so you know, I plan on using these strategies throughout my cut. I plan on losing about 18 to 20 pounds over the next 5 months, which is actually a lot, and I've never done this the slow and steady way. So I'm not just like preaching at you, telling you what to do. I'm saying this is for me. This is a reminder to myself, okay, you're good to go. Good luck. So I bet you're wondering why the heck you're seeing a picture of my dog right now. Truth is, I do not know what other picture to put up here, so you're going to get to look at my dog for like a minute while I say some really important stuff that I left out of the video, because this is the video of like cutting tips, but there's some really important major principles that I want you to know and make sure that you guys know before you even start cutting. First of all, make sure that your metabolism is healthy and that you can sustain your weight on relatively high calories. Um, I recommend going to my IIFYM guide, reverse dieting guide, on my blog, themacroexperiment.com. It tells you exactly how to get your metabolism to a healthy place. From there, you'll want to, when you start cutting, reduce calories by starting out at like 15 to 20% and see what your weight does. And reduce those calories from carbs and fat only. You're going to want to keep your protein high. So you're going to want to aim for 1 pound a week for weight loss to retain as much muscle mass as possible, because you're going to lose some muscle in a cut. That's just how it is. Also, lift as heavy and intensely as possible, if not more so, because again, you want to retain as much muscle mass as possible during this time. So yeah, that in a nutshell is what I really wanted to make sure you guys know before I end this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching my dog. And I will see you guys next week.
Oh, baby, I think we're moving